Hello everyone, it's your friend, your boy jetblackrlsh here with another exciting live stream. Today is August 28th, 2019. Today I got a good bit of work done today at work. I thought as work was starting up that it was going to be like a slow progress thing, um, but it ended up picking up as it went on, and I was happy about that. Yo, Ryan, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? And do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Also, don't forget to smash that like button. Really appreciate it. And Vanessa Brooks, welcome to the stream. Don't forget to smash that like button. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? And do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Ryan said that he finished She-Ra Season 3. I have not seen much of She-Ra. I saw the first few episodes, but I didn't get super hyped for it. So that's my whole thing on She-Ra. Speaking of He-Man based properties, how do you feel about the new uh, Castlevania style He-Man that's going to come out? Let me elaborate on that. So, on a Death Battle podcast, they recently were talking about how there's going to be a Netflix anime style He Man show that I believe Kevin Smith is a executive producer on, and it's going to essentially be like a more adult, hardcore version of He Man that answers some of the unanswered questions of the original He Man series. So it's going to be in continuity with old school He Man, but it's going to be done in this newer Castlevania Netflix style. From what I understand, that might not be correct. I'm getting my information kind of secondhand from that Death Battle podcast that I listen to. But I've heard that it's going to be very different from She-Ra, and it's not going to be connected to She-Ra. But Ryan, what are your thoughts on She-Ra, for one? Because like I said, I didn't really get too into She-Ra. And two, um, are you interested in that He-Man show based on what I described? Also, Kels, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? And do you have any discussion topics that you would like to talk about today on the stream? Let's see. Ryan said She-Ra is a great show. I'm glad that you enjoy it. I personally didn't get into it. I tried. I think I watched either the first one or two episodes or the first three episodes, but I wasn't really feeling it. I didn't get super hyped for it. Um, let's see. Oh, but all in all, work went pretty well. I enjoyed work. Ryan said, I don't care much about such a He Man. Understandable. I feel like because the new He Man show is going to connect to the old He Man series, I wouldn't mind going back and watching some of the old He Man stuff in preparation for it, since it's supposed to tie into it and answer some of the unanswered questions. Then I think it'd be worth looking at. In my opinion, I'm not saying that everybody needs to. Let's see. Then Matt said, "The pizza, He Man." Oh, yeah, Matt, welcome. Matt, did you hear what we were talking about with He Man, or did you only just see He Man in the live chat and get prepared with that Tekken meme? But it was good to have you, dude. Let's see. Tonight after the stream, me and Beth are gonna read three comics. So we're going to read Wonder Woman number 77. We're going to read House of X number 3. And we're going to read Monsters Unleashed issue number 2. So that should be pretty fun. Matt said a little bit of both. Oh, okay. Then Matt said, here is the PSA to watch Dr. Stone. Okay, so I guess this is Matt's new meme. He's going to do that every time until I watch more Dr. Stone. That's understandable. So let's see. What's on my mind? What's on my mind? Oh yeah, I was talking about what comics that me and Beth are gonna read tonight. So Wonder Woman number 77. We're gonna read that because Beth is a big fan of Cheetah, who's a Wonder Woman villain, at least design wise. But we really haven't read any books featuring Cheetah other than Amikomi Wonder Woman issues number 2 and 3. But those are the only Cheetah books that Beth has ever read. She's never read like the current run of Wonder Woman where Wonder Woman is fighting Cheetah. She tried the first issue of Wonder Woman, but I didn't really vibe with it. And after we talked about it a little bit, I don't know. It just we didn't read any more Wonder Woman. So now we're going to read the latest issue of Wonder Woman because she's going to be fighting against Cheetah, who now has a sword made by Hephaestus. That's the God Killer sword. That's made to straight up be able to kill a mortal being. Kill a moral being. Kill immortal beings. My goodness. And she's gonna try to use the sword to kill Wonder Woman. So yeah, I'm pretty hyped for that. I think it'll be an interesting story, and it'll be a good way for Beth to be introduced to modern day Cheetah, like the current iteration of Cheetah. Then Kel said, "I support this message," talking about Matt's PSA to watch Doctor Stone. Um, are they gonna introduce more powered characters than the main guy? Then Matt said, "Cheetah is a very lame villain for her to be paired with Wonder Woman." To be honest, Matt, true. Very true. And the only reason why I agree with Matt so hard on Cheetah not being like the best villain for Wonder Woman is just because Wonder Woman is no slouch. You know, like Wonder Woman is a pretty powerful character with a large arsenal of just things at her disposal. Uh, and I feel like Cheetah is a cat person and she's magical somewhat, and that's it. She's also smart. Okay, I'll give her that. She's a smart cat person who's kind of magical. But besides that, ooh, I just karate chopped my laptop. But besides that, I just feel like she's not as much of a threat to Wonder Woman as some of her other rogues. For example, Doctor Psycho has the ability to like manifest illusions and mind control and shit like that. Stuff that I feel like can actually challenge Wonder Woman, where I feel like Cheetah only challenges Wonder Woman if Wonder Woman's like, I guess I'm not gonna fly today, but Wonder Woman can fly and Cheetah can't fly. So if Wonder Woman just goes up into the air, right? Cheetah can't hurt Wonder Woman necessarily, and you could be like, well, Cheetah could hurt other things, and it's like, but could she? Wonder Woman could just fly in and be like, oh, I saved those people, and Cheetah's like, well, I'm not gonna hurt anybody. I'm just gonna rob this bank. And it's like, oh, you're gonna rob this bank? Cool. I'm just gonna move faster than you, by flying, because Cheetah can probably outrun her, but she can't outfly her because she can't even fly. Like, I'm just gonna fly into you as fast as I can, and just knock you out. And I feel like that would be the fight. I don't understand how Cheetah really challenges Wonder Woman as a character. Unless Wonder Woman is like, I'm on the ground and I'm not gonna use any of my stuff. So I'm not gonna use like the invisible jet, and I'm not gonna call the Justice League, and I'm not gonna use my unbreakable lasso or whatever that Cheetah can't claw her way out of. She has to nerf herself really hard, in my opinion. Um, but whatever. Anyways, where we at? Matt said there is a viable threat to Senku in episode 2. He said that is your enticement. Is Senku the name of the main guy in Doctor Stone? And then Kel said the only power Doctor Stone needs is science. What the power Doctor Stone has is like superhuman intelligence. That nigga is a genius beyond normal human capacity. Matt said clearly you didn't do well in the Mortal Kombat chopping minigame. um, I I would challenge you to that, Matt. I think that would be fun. Let's see. Then Matt said, but is her flying speed faster than the speed of a cheetah? Yeah, I imagine there are some pretty solid speed feats for Wonder Woman's flight. Can someone pull up r/respect threads for Wonder Woman for Rebirth? I'm sure she has some crazy flying feat. I know Superman got a crazy flying feat recently, where he was trapped on a planet where the sun was really far away, and he was just slowly dying. It goes from the sun is really far away to he's now in that sun and he flies through a whole bunch of suns, and they're like, Superman flies faster than he's ever flown. And it's like, oh, that's crazy, because then if we go back and look at older iterations of Superman, then we know that the speed he flew must have been faster than his previous fastest speed. And I think that's an interesting way to set a feat. So instead of telling us how fast he went, you just know if he ever went really fast before, like, fuck that, This is the new record. Let's see. Then Dozer said Dr. Psycho doesn't have powers in Earth 1. I'm not a fan of Dr. Psycho not having powers. I actually feel like his powers are part of what makes him such a good counter to Wonder Woman. Because he's not focusing as much on physical strength. Though he can, though, when he turns into Wonder Man, which is his only power is he's better than Wonder Woman in every way, which would include strength, which I think is actually a really cool idea uh, for a villain. I don't know. But anyways, Matt said Senku is just your average smart high schooler. I don't think he's. There is nothing average about Senku head ass. Matt said the chopping minigame reference was in regards to you chopping your laptop. I am aware. I put two and two together, Matt. I was saying I wouldn't mind facing off against you and test your might, which is what that chopping minigame is called in Mortal Kombat. I'm not very good at test your might, but it's an interesting competition. You know what I mean? It's more or less a button mashing competition. But only the best button masher will win. Let's see. Oh yeah. So the other comics that me and Beth are reading tonight. So like I said, I already talked about Wonder Woman issue number 77. The next one is the next one isn't Monsters Unleashed number 2. House of X number 3. That's what's next. So House of X number 3 is it's kind of complicated. It's the third issue of House of X, but House of X runs alongside Powers of X, which is technically called Powers of 10. So you read each issue with House of X number 1, Powers of 10 number 1, House of X number 2, Powers of 10 number 2. Oh shit. Hold on. Am I wrong? I think Powers of X number 3 came out before House of X number 3. That's impossible. That doesn't make any sense. I don't. How did I fuck that up? Like, I'm legitimately like, I'm pretty sure I read Powers of X number 3 recently, which would mean. That, yeah, something's not right about the math that I just did. I don't think Powers of X came out first. I thought House of X came out first. Whatever. Anyways, House of X is just the story of X-Men in the present day, and Powers of X is the story of X-Men when they first started in the present day, 100 years in the future, and 1,000 years in the future. And I think this will be Beth's first time reading House of X, like, period, is going to be starting on issue number 3. She did something similar with Powers of X, where she started, I think, at issue number 3 of that as well. Now, this isn't a thing where I was like, hey, Beth, dun, 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 just start wherever necessarily. I told Beth, like, when these books came out originally, but she just hasn't gotten to them. So we've started just reading them together when they come out for her to slowly get into X-Men. And I don't think she'll be too lost necessarily. Let's see. Then Matt said, that sounds dumb. What sounds dumb, Matt? Are you talking about Powers of X, House of X, the Test Your Might Mortal Kombat minigame? We've talked about multiple things now. Let's see. But I'm excited for House of X number 3. I'm curious to see what happens in this particular issue. I watched a review of House of X number 3 today while I was working, and I thought the review was pretty interesting. Matt said, Jet, this is why you need to pay attention to your chat. I don't think it's me not paying attention to the chat. It's just more the chat is delayed compared to when I speak. So the only message in the chat as I'm speaking currently, well, now Matt has a message. Matt said, and to just read chat until you're caught up. See, that's the latest message for me. That message. And then Matt says, since then you get way too lost. See, that's now the current message for me, is that message. So that'll help set a timestamp for like when I receive the messages versus when the messages are sent, to give you guys an idea. And then Matt said, it's about a 5-second delay. Okay. I still don't know if you're saying that House of X, Powers of X, or the Test Your Might Mortal Kombat minigame are dumb. I still don't know where you're at. I don't know why you always react to me asking questions about clarification, with just being like, you should pay attention. Like, clearly I don't know what's happening. Just please let me know. I'm asking for a reason. Matt said the comics being interwoven. So Matt's not a fan of having to switch between House of X and Powers of 10, going back and forth. You really don't have to. Full disclosure, House of X is technically its own thing because it's only telling the story of the present day X-Men. So if you didn't care about the past and future of the X-Men, you just want to know what's happening right now, you can technically read House of X and be fine. Powers of X, you could read without House of X, but it's weird because you can't say that House of X isn't a part of Powers of X because Powers of X covers the whole timeline. But you can say that House of X is kind of its own thing because it doesn't care as much about the past and the future necessarily. Like, you don't have to know what happened in the past to understand what's happening right now. And you don't need to know what's happening later to understand what's happening right now. But for Powers of X, if they flash forward to like 100 years in the future and they start talking about stuff that's happening in the present day, if you're not reading the present day book, you might not understand what they're referring to. So it is a little different. Matt said, but Jet, I react because you're bad about it. What if a time ripple in the future has an impact on the past? Well, one thing that happened recently, spoilers for the most recent issue of Powers of 10, if anybody's held off on reading that, you don't want to get it spoiled. So, fuck it. I'm going to say spoilers for Powers of 10 and House of X in general. Like, from this point forward. Hitting you guys up with a spoiler warning right now. So, they revealed that Moira McTaggart is a mutant, and she has the ability to, whenever she dies, she starts back as a baby with all of her memories. So she has like perfect recall, um, and she just reincarnates whenever she's like killed. Matt said, "Yes, I know of this. How do you know about the Moira McTaggart thing? Have I talked about this before?" Um, so Moira, and then Matt says, "Yes. Oh, I have talked about this before. Oh, cool. Well, in the recent Powers of 10 issue, Moira McTaggart died again. And that is allowing me to currently understand what Moira timeline House of X takes place in, because it seems to be taking place in the timeline after this most recent Moira death, this Moira death being in the future. So it was interesting. And then Matt said Apocalypse. Okay. I imagine I talked about House of X and Powers of 10 while I was with Colin and them. Excuse me. And that's how you know about it already? It's pretty good so far. I'm enjoying it. One guy, Cam, at the Deep Comics and Games, he was talking about how X-Men right now is essentially just Fantastic Four, because John Hickman, who's famous for his run on Fantastic Four, is the guy who's writing X-Men right now, and is the guy who's going to be responsible for the X-Men for, I think, the next decade or so. He says he's in here for the long haul, and that what's happening in House of X and Powers of X right now is going to be the basis for just the future of X-Men. Then Matt said, yes, I did talk about it when I was at Collins. Matt said, but is it really, though? If they stick to their guns, yes. If they don't, no. You know what I mean? DC Comics recently had a hard monkey wrench thrown into it because Brian Michael Bendis is kind of an asshole, but it's whatever. So one thing that's pretty controversial right now is that Brian Michael Bendis is the writer for Superman, and he made Superman's kid, who was maybe like 12, into a teenager. He caused Superman's kid to be like trapped in another universe and go on like this weird adventure, and then when he came back to the present day, because somehow time was involved. It's confusing, but he's a teenager now, and Brian Michael Bendis more or less was like, yeah, I don't want to continue writing stories about Superman being a father. So now that I'm on the Superman book, and the Superman book was about Superman raising his kid, fuck it. Now Superman's kid is like grown up. And then he's like, oh, well, he's grown up. And he's also going to join the Legion of Superheroes. So he's not going to be here. So he's going to go to the future, and he's not going to be featured in these stories. Okay, cool. And it's really weird because he didn't just disrupt Superman, but he disrupted Super Sons, which is the team up book between Batman's son and Superman's son. Because I guess Super Sons is going to be over now. Oh, well, it kind of already ended. But I guess there aren't going to be any more Super Sons books because those books were about John, Superman's son, and Damian, Batman's son, kind of growing up together and becoming heroes together and kind of like not necessarily being in their father's shadows, but being motivated by their fathers to become greater. They haven't hit the point of being like a Nightwing type of thing, where it's like I'm still constantly in the shadow of my father. It's more like that's a light to aspire to. But I guess that's just out the window. Uh, then Matt said X-Men and Fantastic Four are very different from a plot perspective. Well, what Cam is trying to say when he says that the X Men are essentially going to be like the Fantastic Four is because John Hickman, uh, as far as we know, because so far there are only, I think, 6 issues out, if you count issues of House of X and Powers of 10 together. So far, from what we can tell, uh, well, it's weird to say that. Fuck it. We think John Hickman might be turning this more or less into a Fantastic Four story that doesn't star the Fantastic Four. Like he's going to bring like the style and elements that he put into his iconic Fantastic Four stories into the X-Men is what we think might happen. Cool. Matt said okay. We're there. um but who knows? He might change up on us. It may not be like his Fantastic Four stuff at all. I personally didn't read a lot of Fantastic Four. Um, but that's what people think might happen. Let's see. How do I feel about X-Men? Um, oh, I'm trying to see if there's any interesting news that I want to lay on you guys. Like cool shit that I've like seen recently. Let me bring up my Google Keep notes. Because normally I keep track of cool stuff that I like hear about or see from day to day. Then Matt said Mega Man Zero slash ZX collection. Oh, that seems like something that you'd be hyped for. Are you gonna get it? I imagine it's gonna be released on that Nintendo Switch. Oh, cool. So here's a cool thing to talk about. So there's this AI that exists that's called OpenAI GPT-2. I'm just gonna call it GPT-2 because that's all you really need to know. So GPT-2 is an AI where you can type in whatever you want, and then the AI will try to finish whatever you wrote in the format that you wrote it. So if you start writing a script, it will then look at the style that you used to write the script and continue where your script left off. If you write like a news article, like the beginning of an article, it'll try to imitate the style of the article and finish it as an article. If you write a poem, it'll try to finish it as a poem. And if you write a rap, it'll try to finish it as a rap. But the people who created GPT-2 said it's too powerful and we don't want to release it to the masses because we're afraid that if we do release GPT-2, that people are going to use it to create fake news. And it's going to make the fake news problem that already exists, excuse me, even worse. So they said that, and then a couple of college students who had access to a lot of resources recreated GPT-2 and then released it to the public. They were like, yeah, just because you guys are these like big fancy programmers who write your papers and publish them and talk about the dangers of AI doesn't mean that you're like hot shit and that you get to decide whether or not people get access to it or not. It's more of a thing where you know, people should be able to use this technology in general, and that we shouldn't keep the technology from the people just because you're afraid that there might be negative consequences. Because in the end, there could be positive consequences. Not everything is so black and white, kind of thing. Long story short, if you go to talktotransformer.com, you can play around with a smaller version of GPT-2 if you want to see how it works and test it out for yourself. So I'm going to share that website now in case you guys want to take a look at it. Okay, so let's see. So Matt said, yeah, he's going to get it. He said, it's the best Mega Man. Jet, get it. And then he said, that sounds like poor quality. Oh, you're talking about the OpenAI GPT-2? We can always play around with it. Tell me something that you want me to type into it, and then I'll tell you what it spits back. That way we can do like a good test of it. And then Matt said, you mean you'll play with it? I mean, all the site is a box where you type stuff in, and then you hit complete text, and then it completes what you said. It just adds in the rest of the information. By the way, GPT-2 is incredibly powerful. Like, the reason why there's so much hype behind it is because it uses a machine learning algorithm that contains, well, it doesn't contain, but it's a machine learning algorithm that's learned from, I think they said like 8 million web pages or whatever. Like, it's taking in so much content to try to understand how human language works in order to be able to do this. So Matt, you want me to just write Shadow Darkgale? That's 2 words. That doesn't really give it a lot to go off of. And then Matt said, yeah, okay, I'm gonna type that in, and I'm gonna read back what it says. Whoa, what the fuck? What? Matt, what did you do? What are you doing? No. Okay, Matt, I'm not gonna read it. This is the response we got back or something. I don't know why this is what it wanted it to finish as, but that's what we got. Matt said, and you broke the stream. I don't think we broke the stream. Hopefully not. But let's see. So Shadow Darkgale became all that hexadecimal stuff. So I'm gonna write in Shadow Darkgale can control shadows. He is currently exploring Walmart with a happy-go-lucky doughboy. Okay, so now I'm gonna enter that in and see what it says. Oh shit. Okay, here we go, Matt. Check this out. Matt said, Jet, you do remember stuff, you liar. Shadow Darkgale can control shadows. He is currently exploring Walmart with a happy-lucky doughboy. He has 2 special attacks, Darkgale Blast and Darkgale Scales. Darkgale Blast. He does a large amount of damage to enemies on contact. His Darkgales are made by combining his own hands. Darkgales can be broken down to gain Darkgale Dust. Darkgale Scales. He fires powerful balls of darkness at the enemies to destroy them. In this form, it's easy to defeat enemies that are more than a few levels higher. These can later be used in Darkgale's Blast. Darkgale Scales can also be used to heal himself or enemies, and is the most efficient source of Darkgale's dust. Shadow Darkgale can control shadows. He is currently exploring Walmart with a happy-go-lucky doughboy. He has 2 special attacks. Why did it loop? Oh, it didn't loop. It does change it up. He has 2 special attacks, Darkgale Blast and Darkgale Scales. Darkgales can be broken down to gain Darkgale Dust. Darkgale Scales can be used to heal himself or enemies. So he can heal. Why would he heal enemies? So you're getting kind of merciful there, Matt. But yeah, what did you think of what it generated based off of that, Matt? Because I thought it was interesting that it made it like a game mechanic, and you have a resource system. And Matt said healing seems like it's just regular healing. And then Matt said also this sounded like junk. Well, we didn't really give it a format. So I'm going to add in some play style lines. So I'm going to write Shadow Darkgale, colon, like, dialogue in a play. And then I'm going to put stop following me. And then I'm going to put Doughboy. And I'm going to put Chuckles and like asterisks. And I'm going to be like, but you're my daddy. And then it has an exclamation point. I'm going to hit complete text. And now we're going to see what it says. Matt said, if you remember the Doughboy, then why couldn't we have finished the session? Because I don't remember enough about Jank Heroes in order to continue all those stories. Okay. Shadow Darkgale can control shadows. He's currently exploring Walmart with a happy-go-lucky Doughboy. Shadow Darkgale. Stop following me! Doughboy. But you're my daddy! It had Shadow Darkgale chuckle back. I can't believe... That's a funny setup. Why is it that it was like, stop following me, of course, so he's gonna chuckle at him. Okay, so then Doughboy said, I'll help you find your daughter soon, my darling. Don't worry, she's safe in some kind of safe haven or something. And then Matt just chuckles again. I like that everybody's chuckling for some reason. Also, so the Doughboy is gonna help you find your daughter, apparently, who's in some kind of safe haven or something. So then Doughboy chuckles. He said, I know, Daddy. No one knows who she is, and no one's ever seen her. Well, that explains why Matt doesn't know who his daughter is. And then Matt says, so you're not worried about her? Or me? And then Doughboy goes, no, of course not. She doesn't even deserve that kind of hate. I don't want no part in it at all. Oh, and no part in all that. I've always made it clear the real me is just you, the good and the bad. The real me is just you, the good and the bad. What the fuck is happening? Then Matt said, why did I have to wait a year and a half just to learn I am his dad? I don't mean literally his father. That being said, that would have been a really weird plot twist. How do you think you would have been his dad, Matt? How do you explain being the father of a Pillsbury's Doughboy? When did you fuck a loaf of bread? When were you up in that Sara Lee bread aisle? Matt said, why is this a romantic drama? Then Matt said, Jet, what even is this? Then Matt said, Marita bread, Jet. Matt's like, I have my brand. So one thing that's interesting, Matt, is that it never gives the same thing twice. So if we put in the same thing that we just put in, it'll create an entirely new response to complete it. So I'm gonna hit generate another. And I'm gonna look at this bitch because I'm very interested in seeing where this goes. Let's go. Then Matt said, watch it be another romantic drama. Shadow Darkgale can control shadows. He is currently exploring Walmart with a happy-go-lucky Doughboy. Stop following me! But you're my daddy. Stop following me. See, that's more like what Matt would say. But you're my daddy. He puffs up and smoking with your little head. What does that mean? What is that? What is he saying? Matt said, do you remember where you came from? And then the Doughboy says, I went back to Earth. It was before we came to the sun. Cause I guess you're on the sun now. You're on the sun in a Walmart. Then Matt said, I heard you had a big house, and your mother got you a dog. Matt said we came to the sun. Then Doughboy said, the only one I ever got was a little boy. My big-ass dog, and he's my family now. My big ass dog. my my big ass dog. GPT-2 2019. Doughboy. Matt said, "Where's Shadow Baby?" Then Doughboy yells, "I forgot what my name is." I forgot what my name was. And then Shadow Dark goes, "Shadow Baby? I don't remember it." Shadow Baby, Metal Gear. Psycho Man, Shadow Baby. That's a Psycho Mantis. Okay, that was pretty good. I think saying, "but you're my daddy," confused it really hard. So it keeps trying to play with the father son thing. I'm gonna remove, "but you're my daddy." I'm gonna make Doughboy chuckle and then say, "I'm not following you." Because that actually is that's canon. I'm not following you. Matt said, "I am using the restroom. Give me a few moments." The way you said it made it seem like it was present tense, like you were messaging as you were using the restroom. I can wait, because this is entertaining, and I imagine that you would like to enjoy the festivities while you are away, Matt. I will reply to a message from Beth. The picture talked about do. Feel free to ask me any questions while I'm messaging Beth. Let's see. Do 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 do. Bum ba da da da. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Matt said, "Okay. Let me know when you're back, Matt." Do 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 do. Oh, Matt's back. Okay. One moment. I'm almost done with this message that I'm sending to Beth. You give me a quick moment. Let's see. Um. Hmm. Mhm. 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 And. Hmm. I'll be right with you. I'm almost done. Then Matt said, "Jet, this hour is for the stream." I got you. I got you. You went to the bathroom. Let's see. Then Matt said, "I'm not the host." Yeah, you're the audience. Okay, cool. Now, let's check out what GPT-2 made. Uh, with the "I'm not following you," I'm gonna put I'm gonna put giggles at the end of that one. Okay. So let's complete that text. Complete the text. Shadow Dark Guild can control shadows. He is currently exploring Walmart with a happy-go-lucky doughboy. Stop following me. I'm not following you. What are you doing here? Oh, wait. Oh, that's Doughboy. Doughboy just talked again. Why did he talk twice? Hey, what are you doing here? I don't have a purpose. I just want to do some shopping. And you think you're funny? Matt's edge goes from to and he intensified it so hard. have to follow me. What are you thinking? I know you have good intentions, and I want to keep living my own life. That's what a hero is supposed to do anyway. I'm a hero, doughboy. Don't you know who I am? I'm a kid with amazing powers, and I just want to live my own life. I can't. I'm just like you, Shadow the Thief. I just want to help. So in this, Doughboy seems to be taking on this interesting sidekick role as GPT-2 is super confused about the situation. The AI goes from the AI like alternates between them agreeing that Shadow Darkgale is a hero to Shadow the Thief by the end. Then Matt said, why was this AI good again? I think it pulls from like 8 million data samples found throughout the web in order to understand human language and to be able to finish stuff. Then Matt said, this is such random garbage. Matt, Matt, what are you doing? Do you think you could make this on your own? Like no outside resources. Excuse me. That being said, I doubt that this was made on its own without any outside resources. I'm sure they used other things. But I guess what I'm saying is, Matt, without using GPT-2, do you think you could make GPT-2 with like the greatest of ease? Then Matt said, I couldn't make the AI. Um, well, I guess the reason why I reacted with that particular statement of, do you think that you could make it, is because the other day you were talking about how it would be really hard for Konami to add the different rule sets in their Yu-Gi-Oh video games, and you talked about how difficult that was. But then I was like, that's not really hard. Like that wouldn't be as hard as you're saying it would be. And then I'm showing you something that's like a really big thing right now, like in tech, like where they're like, wow, like AI has never been able to do stuff like on this level, and there are some people who feel like we're just not ready to have AI like this, and that it's like too good for what it is. And then Matt's like, garbage, trash, trash. And I'm like, why? Like it just feels very flip to me, your opinions. You'd think it would be the other way around. Let's see. Matt said, I'm saying the results of the AI are garbage. I wasn't even saying it was hard for Konami per se. I was just saying it was harder than what you were making it out to be. I don't think it was. I don't think I was making it out to be that hard though, Matt. Let's see. Do 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 wah. Hey, do 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 wah. Hey, very tempted to hit that button again. Also, Matt, you have to understand that it's reacting on the fly to the stuff that we're saying. Then Matt said, what about all the testing for all those cards? Again, I don't think it would be as hard as you think it would be in order to implement all those things. There are plenty of things that have already done it. Oh, that was cool. I was just drumming on my knees, and I didn't think about what the beat was until I finished. But I was more or less doing in my head, dun 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 dun, and that's what that last part of the leg padding was, which is the victory music in Sonic Adventure 2. Um, oh, but Matt, let's try a news article this time. Um, tonight's weather, partly cloudy, with a chance of snow. Tonight's weather, partly cloudy with a chance of snow. In other news, comma, complete text. Then Matt said, or we could just have more comedies. Then Matt said, as much as it is garbage, it's more memey than anything. I do like the memes. Huh. So what it came back with is Tonight's weather partly cloudy with a chance of snow. In other news, the sun has finally emerged, so get out and spend some time outdoors. For more information, and then it's like the NOAA's website, and it has like a thing in parenthesis, HT to Stephen Caston, the Weather Underground. Uh, oh, I have a meme idea. Okay, so let's do George Washington was the first female vampire president of the United States of Africa. He became the president after he defeated all of the werewolves who came over, who traveled across the ocean from Great Britain. I said female, I can't say he. Do 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 do. Okay, let's see what happens. Matt said the sun has finally emerged after 300 years, and then he said 3,000 years. Then Matt said, are you using he and she? And then he said, gotcha. Okay. So let's see what it says. George Washington was the first female vampire president of the United States of Africa. She became the president after he... Oh, fuck, I still said he. Hold on. Let me fix that. Do, and then resubmit. Where the fuck was it? Here we go. She. And I'm going to hit complete text. Let's see what happens. And then Matt said, but now we have a new seed. True, we do. George Washington was the first female vampire president of the United States of Africa. She became the president after she defeated all of the werewolves who traveled across the ocean from Great Britain. She was so powerful that she was able to kill all the vampires in Egypt and Greece. The blood of those who were able to defeat her was used to create the first vampire slayer, who traveled around the world slaying vampires. The Vampire Slayer, an American TV show based on the British series, was the first series to feature a female white hero, and the second to feature a female non-black hero as the protagonist. In 2014, NBC aired The Vampire Diaries. The series was praised for breaking down stereotypes with the depiction of young women, especially the heroine, Melissa McBride, who became America's first female lesbian superhero show hostess. In 2014, ABC aired Once Upon a Time, which featured a female villain with supernatural powers, Sacha Bordeaux, which also broke down stereotypes and led to several female superheroes. In 2018, NBC's Gotham was also shown with a female villain. And that's what it got out of that. And then Matt said, Belmont? Belmont? I think this one lost the sauce when it started talking about, I guess, the Vampire Slayer show. Once it started talking about TV shows, it like muted like hella hard. But I think that first, literally the first sentence it came up with, I thought fit. After that, excuse me, it was just out of there. So let's try another meme. He opened the gift box, only to find the worst gift imaginable. He looked and looked, but still he couldn't believe his eyes. Inside of the box was the worst gift you could possibly buy from a mountain bike store. you could possibly buy. I'm going to leave it at that. And then I'm going to say, Sally colon, how do you like your gift? Tom is silent for a moment before he answers. Let's see. Then Matt said, what about melee memes? You mean like Smash memes? Because that would be interesting. You want to put in like a Smash Brothers prompt? Yo, Godzilla, welcome to the stream. Don't forget to smash that like button. How's your day today? Do you have any questions for your boy? Do you have any discussion topics you'd like to talk about on the stream? Right now we're playing with an AI that can complete written messages. Godzilla said, did you see the amino? I haven't checked out the amino yet. We will check out the amino shortly. Because there aren't as many people in the live chat now, so I don't think it'll be as much of an issue. So let me read out what the AI has completed and what we wrote into the AI. So what we wrote into the AI was, he opened the gift. Oh gosh. It's one of those things where I like missaid something, but whatever. He opened the gift, the box, only to find the worst gift imaginable. He looked and looked, but still he couldn't believe his eyes. Inside of the box was the worst gift you could possibly buy. Sally then says, who do you like your gift? How did I mess up so bad? Tom is silent for a moment before he answers. Okay, and now, from this point on, it's the AI writing. The AI wrote the rest of this. Tom says, I don't know, just, I like it. And then Sally said, oh? And then Tom said, I like it. And then Sally said, wow, really? What'd you think of it, Tom? And then Tom said, a little bit, I guess, but it's okay. And then Sally says, great. Tom gives her a look of confusion. Then Tom says, wow, that was really great. Then Sally said, you didn't think about that, did you? Then Tom said, no, but I'm glad that you like it. And then Sally said, okay, I'll send you some pictures. She leaves for the bathroom. After finishing her shower, Sally returns to the couch before standing. What? What just happened? It's like it was doing a really good job of portraying awkwardness. Not gonna lie. I was like, wow, it's really setting the pace of the story, being a guy receives a gift from a girl that's just a horrible gift, but he doesn't know what to say. And I felt like the pauses and shit, like if you look at it, it's actually really good. I actually really fuck with it. Until a certain point. The AI always loses the sauce at a certain point. But look at this. Look at this, Matt. That's pretty natural. That is that. The stream is dead. The dream is dead. And then Godzilla said, what happened? When I switch the camera around, does it not show what's on the camera? And can you guys hear me when I switch the camera around? Because I was trying to film the screen in order to show you guys what the AI had made. Matt said, we died, and then Godzilla said, oh, I'm back. So did you guys miss all of that? What'd you guys miss? Did you guys miss when I turned the screen around? Because I'm starting to think, turning the screen around isn't working. So Matt said, yes, and then Godzilla said, we missed a lot. Yo, Godzilla, hit me up with something to put into this box. Because I'd be down to put something in this box. I'm hyped for the box. And then Godzilla said, oh, a box? Yeah. So we put text in the box. And then the box finishes what we said. So Matt has a request to put in the box. He wants Wombo Combo Happy Feet. Whoa. So we're going to try Matt's thing first. Then we're going to go to your thing. I'm curious if it's going to make a song, Matt. It might try to make it into a song. What? What? This is gonna be interesting. Matt said, so she will have to take care of a monster and have property damage. A baby Mothra larva. Interesting. So, Matt, here's what we got. Wombo combo, happy feet, whoa, and so much more as the game progresses. Game 1 versus the Pacers. I don't know what to write here. I was totally into the game. I love how they had a 3-point line in every situation and a quick turnaround. I'm not sure why the Pacers have a quick turnaround. I've never heard of it before. We got a double team of all-stars that had trouble finishing outside the paint from the perimeter, but we also didn't have a ball handler on our side. Our best scorer played the most minutes, and that was Kyle Korver. He had 20 minutes. We didn't really play defense and lost by 18. Game 2 versus the Nets. I'll admit to liking the Nets. They have some legitimate offensive talent, and so did we. They ran everything we wanted to do from ball screen to the mid-post, with the defense looking like a group of kids who have been playing basketball for a little longer. It understood sports, at least. It didn't understand Smash, but it understood sports. It was like, sports jabber? I got you. And then Matt said, I mean, this was a sportscaster. Yeah. So, Godzilla, are you asking me to put in all the things that you just typed? So, a baby Mothra larva. And then Matt said, but what game were they even describing? Based on the end, I think basketball. Also, they mentioned paint. And there is paint on a basketball court. So I think that was supposed to be basketball. Okay, so I've copied and pasted all the things that you said, Godzilla. So a baby Mothra larva, so she will have to take care of a monster and have property damage, it grows. Let's see what it says. In their bedroom. Then they should go to the emergency room because he's getting sick and they're hurting their baby. She'll ask him to leave her side, but this baby Mothra will not leave her side because because he's pregnant. It said he. They will stay in the nursery for a week, and then they will have a baby, and now he will have a wife. He will no longer be a monster. He'll be a wife. Who will not be afraid? He'll go to the doctor, and she'll care of the baby. She will not be afraid. She'll be a wife. So she'll move to a different country. So when he comes home, he'll look like a normal, healthy baby. They will move abroad, but only once. They will not be worried. So because the AI takes whatever format you put it in and tries to copy your format, if you give it like broken English incomplete sentences, it returns broken English incomplete sentences in the same style. So if you give it a bunch of comments phrased that way, it then will do it the same way. Oh my goodness. Let's see. And then Matt said, how did Wombo Combo lead to basketball? I don't know, maybe you get like 2 3-pointers, you get that Wombo Combo. Matt's like, what? Pregante? Then Godzilla said, what the hell? And then Matt said, Pergnant. Then Godzilla said, no, what? What's happening, Jet? Explain. Something strange happened. And he said, oh, I just meant put a baby Mothra larva. He said, not the rest, sorry. Well, I put the whole thing in. Let us see what it does if we just say a baby Mothra larva. And let's see what happens. A baby Mothra larva, an insect with a wingspan of nearly 5 millimeters. As the larvae are attracted to light, and as the larvae grow, they develop a complex skeleton that appears to resemble the body of a caterpillar. So while I would continue reading that, we did hit an hour on the stream. Yo, I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to smash that like button, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding, ring the notification bell to be notified whenever we do these live streams. It's your friend, your boy, Jetblack, the one and only, logging out. Peace out.